Hey, hey, hey. So I know I was on here yesterday with both of my girls, and we told you guys about our self care challenge. So today, uh, probably need to go get something to hold this camera, but I'll be short. Today we are coming back on here, and we are coming back on here. Okay, sorry. Some camera difficulties. I'm coming back on here just to talk to you guys about day two of the challenge. Day two. So for day two, we are reading a book. Day one, we took a bubble bath. Day two, we're reading a book. So before the day is over, really encouraging you guys to get some me time and read a book. Now, I had a friend tell me, hey, I'm going to get like a simple text because I don't have time to devote to reading the entire book. And guys, no one was expecting you all to read an entire book. Just wanting to be clear on that. We just want you to take 5, 10, or 10 minutes, or how long your body, soul, spirit desires, to read a book. Okay? And then in reading that book, we want you to just kind of connect with yourself. It's a, being able to connect with you and being intentional about your time. So you're stimulating your mind and you're getting that alone time. Hence the reason why the girls and I talked about reading a book. And um, so whether it's a book of affirmations, a book of poetry, a chapter book, we're not saying to finish, although some of you all are avid readers, so you're like, hey, if I'm going to dedicate this time, I might be up for the next, 5 hours in that book. I don't know what your setup looks like in your house. Or your family, so I can't speak to, or your life, so I can't speak to how much time you can dedicate toward this. I'm just wanting you to be intentional to do something that is mentally and spiritually and intellectually stimulating for you. So I was on another platform and I just told them that for my time I read my book. Now, some of you are like, oh, look at her plugging her own book. And you know what? I'll be honest, at first that was absolutely the intention. But as the day continued itself, it just ironically happened that I truly needed my own words. And, with that being said, some of you all might want to go back and read some of your journals. Like, that might be the book that you want to read. Like, read some of your own thoughts, see where you are, in contrast to where you thought you would be, or are you further along, or are you not as far along? But this poetry is like a journal, if you will, for me. Um, because it allows me to see where I was and to remind myself of what helped me to get into more of a healthy mental space. And I also do have a journal component in the back. I think I've said that before on some other platforms. So if you're interested, the book is called Flowering Yourself. Please excuse that now. The book is called Flowering Yourself, and it is by myself, Courtney N. Brookins. So you all can check that out on Amazon, and we do have a paperback and Kindle version. So whichever version you prefer. Um, so I kind of highlighted the poems that I read today that really helped me to center myself. There are multiple poems in this book, but I found myself drawn to a few of them. So one of them is connecting to self, right? Which is really the ultimate point of this entire challenge. So I'm going to share with you the poem and let you kind of hear. Sorry, I keep moving. This tab was heavy. Let you hear this particular poem. So, connecting to self. Sometimes when I feel out of sync, I lie alone with just me and focus on the breath, the beat of my chest, the depths of my breath, the peace of my mind, and I am calm, for I am at one with me. So that particular poem was very centering. I'm gonna see if I can sit down and still get some of this good light. That particular poem was very centering for me because it reminded me of the importance of meditation. Hopefully you all can see me. From my end, things are checking out. So it reminded me of the importance of just meditation, um, making sure that I'm paying attention, intentional time for yourself. Okay. So going to the next poem, it says, I am. And as you can see, the book is flowering yourself. So it is just nothing but flowers throughout the entire book, which was very intentional. So I am. I am a ball of fire, a light that burns from within, that warms. I attract abundance. I attract peace. I attract goodness. I burn in darkness, and I am visible around others' light. I shine, I glisten, I ignite. Okay, guys, that particular poem, and again, if you're interested in this book, I'm actually going to put a link in the description box so you can go ahead and um, purchase yourself or a friend or a family member a copy. This is children friendly. My daughters have actually read this book, so there's nothing that's going to really just jump out and just be um, overtly inappropriate for children, teenagers, and of course, men and women. But going back to that poem, I Am, it just reminded me of everything I am and just allow me to focus on the fact that at the end of, I am always light. And no matter how I'm feeling or who I'm around, that is still a truth. That I am light, that I shine brightly, even in my most low, even in when I'm feeling low or disconnected from myself. Excuse me, flipping through my book to get to the next poem. I bookmarked it for the last. I bookmarked it for the last video I just did, and then somehow I lost the pages in the middle of switching to YouTube. So please excuse this. Okay, but yeah, just reminding us that we are light. Okay, and so hopefully you feel your light beaming and radiating more and more each day. That is my internal goal. I'm wanting each day for me to feel better, to feel happier, for me to attract more things, more of my desires, more of my wishes, um, more of the life I deem to live. So, next poem is Illumination. Okay. You can tell I read it, can't you? You can like it is not a fresh copy. You can tell I read my own work. So, illumination. I want to illuminate myself, fill myself up with joy, love, and happiness. I want to create my own world, full of peace and fullness, finding comfort in my own energy and expanding it to the layers within me, leveling myself and pushing it out into the world. And so that poem, Illumination, is just a reminder of being responsible for my own energy, getting myself into a really positive space and utilizing that positive space within me to help be transformative within the world. Because I once heard someone say, and I totally embody this concept, I can literally transform the world by my own being. I know we talk about physically going out and doing things and community service and um, giving back into the community is very important, and I think it's a wonderful thing for us to do. But besides actually going out and serving, the way you can literally transform your own world, your own community, is by going internally, being responsible for your own energy, being responsible for your own light, and allowing that to radiate out into the community, out into the world. And so that's why self care is so important because this is an inward work, right? Your temple, you're directly targeting it, and you're allowing it to transform the things around you. Okay? So, with that being said, I didn't really mean to go that way necessarily, but you say what is needed to be said. So, as stated, the self care challenge is all 31 days of August. I will be putting the link to the book if you like my words. Please support and continue support. Share it with a friend. Purchase it. Let me know how you like it. Again, it is on Amazon. Um, and then continue to, if you are participating in the challenge, make sure you're tagging us and using the hashtag self care challenge so I can actually see who's participating because because I really want to award you guys with these shirts. Like, and if you do not, let me say this: if you do not win the raffle for the shirt, they are available for purchase on our website www.onesun3flowers.com. So you can certainly get yours. And I have promised my followers that I am going to make kid sizes. So that I am working at that earnestly, and that is coming. We are getting to a space because my daughters and I created this company. And first we kind of had shirts for them and shirts for us because they wanted certain things on shirts and I wanted certain things on shirts. But as we've talked more as a team, we think that it will be really great for us to have mother-daughter shirts. One, because people keep asking for it, but two, the idea of self-care matters. They helped me come up with the self-care challenge. So to allow children to understand and walk around with the message of self-care mattering, and for them to embody that at 5, 10, even 15, before they get to a space of 100% needing that, or before their commitments are heightened, it just will be soul touching to me, to us. So we thank you for your time. They read their books. Let me just say that real quick before I go. Super funny. They read their books. My youngest daughter did went for the bonus, so she's like, I'm gonna do the book and the tub action, right? So she put her chapter book in the water because she's like, oh well, it will dry. So I'm like, okay, it will dry, but just having to tell her that in the future, we don't want to put textbooks. That's just like, for you moms and aunts and teachers out there. That's just a funny, like, little mommy moment where I'm having to explain to her about caring for the things that she brings into her tub, um, so that they're not messed up in her own journey, which I feel like that could lead me into another message. But I'll get off that on that note. So thank you for your time. Love you guys. Bye.